Hi. I don't know who this video is for. It might just be for me. I think this video is just for me. I have a lot of things in my head, and I figured it'd be a good idea to get them out. I have my animals. There. That's my dog. That's my cat. They chill in here because it's warm, despite the fact that we have no insulation in this part of the house. Yeah, so this video is for me. I don't expect anyone to watch it. I hope no one watches it. This is kind of more raw. Well, not raw compared to how most people see me, I guess. Because over the years I've developed this personality of being like a crazy, not like crazy, but like more, just a lot, like very much a front, of course, of positivity and very much enthusiasm and doing crazy things just for the sake of it because it's funny and it's just a thing I do, and I don't have a problem with it so much as it has taken over the public opinion of me. Because for like a lot of years I was like very depressed and anxious all the time, and I couldn't get anything done because I had completely unchecked ADHD just taking over my life, and that was a big part of it. But I think also the other part is that I'm very scared of rejection, and in order to avoid that, I kind of made this persona, but it was me, just much more like, louder and more cheerful and more enthusiastic, and I'd get up on tables and like yell, and like it wasn't ever malicious, but I think the person that I am really, like in my day-to-day, like my parents and my closer friends online know me much better than the person that, like, the people that I've known in school and at parties. I have a very different personality in those situations because it's not that I am lying to anyone, that's how I survive in public situations where I don't have control of the situation, or anything could happen, or I don't know what's gonna happen. So I put on this persona of like overconfidence and like craziness in general, like so that I seem like competent and very much in control of what's going on in my life, in my mind. And it's just, but it's become so enveloping and very much, like, I feel like I'm living a double life sometimes between the person that I like convinced everyone I am and have to keep that up, and the person I really am, the person who's sitting right here talking to himself with the coolest panda pajamas that have ever existed on. Like, I'm always wearing like nicer clothes. I think like that was kind of my way of like dealing with the fact that I very much grew up poor, and most of the time in like elementary and middle school I looked like a Polly Pocket because we would always buy from thrift stores, and that was just kind of part of our life, and I had no idea what like self-grooming was. Like, I was very much just completely unchecked and not, it wasn't a lack of supervision, it was just a lack of recognition, and I wasn't being seen, and there was a lot going on all the time, like everyone was super busy, and I spent a lot of time alone. Like, I was very much alone for the majority of my younger life, and I'm not blaming anyone, but this has made, like, going out to do things on my own is very scary for me. Like, leaving town, like leaving Brentwood, is incredibly hard for me because I just I spent my whole life here and existing here, and I got very familiar with Brentwood. Like, I could go anywhere without even thinking about it, but when it comes to the outside world, it's very hard for me to open up and be comfortable. Like, on buses I can't handle, and all this stuff, and it just, that's not the person people see me as. And so when I have those problems, they don't understand what I could possibly be talking about. Like, oh, that's Sev, he can do anything. Why is it so hard for him to come to a party or meet someone he's never seen before? Or like when someone makes a joke and then I like have to laugh because it's hilarious, but the small part of me that I actually am is really hurt by it. And it's a bit of a juggle, and I'm not particularly good at juggling. I think I've pulled it off, but it just kind of begs the question, like, how far is this going to go into my adult life? You know, like, I spent so long as a 14-year-old in a 18-year-old body, and I'm finally catching up, and I'm finally, like, having some control in my life, and like doing things and not freaking out whenever I have to do anything because I just am not prepared for it. Like, I have not had the time to process and take the time to really understand what I'm doing and why it's important and like that I can do it. So now I'm finally catching up. Like, I'm finally doing things and going to parties, and of course, and it is exhausting, but I still feel the urge to put on this persona, and like it's not that it's detrimental. Like, of course, I don't think that the person that everyone thinks I am is a bad person, but there's certain attitudes that I've kind of encouraged. Like, of course, I'll call anyone out for any reason. Like, I'm completely into just not letting that kind of shit fly, but there's a way that I have been, and it's not me. That's the person's not me. That persona is purely for the purpose. That's a lot of P's in that sentence. I enjoy that. Purely for the purpose of protecting myself. It's all very much like a defense mechanism. And now that I'm coming out of that shell a little bit, I find it smothering more than protecting. Like, it's just not working so much anymore. And I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Like, I think I just have to let myself be myself. And, like, of course, I've always advocated for being yourself, which makes me a huge hypocrite. But I'm not being myself. It's just, I need to be more open and sensitive, I guess. Need to do more things like this. Just sitting and talking to myself. Because I do talk to myself quite a lot, actually. Side effect of being alone all the time. You just talk to yourself, and it's completely normal, because somewhere there's an audience, because there always has to be someone listening, and so that person just became myself, and it's been hard. It's been hard to know that I'm the only one who's ever gonna hear this, but it's also been kind of liberating because there's no judgment for myself, and when there was, I knew that it was just because of the depression and the anxiety and always having this pressure, but like 100% of my like very aware mental illness has always been around other people. Like, when I'm on my own, I'm perfectly myself because I don't need a front for anyone. I'm just myself, and it's fine. And online, this is also really great because you don't need to be in front of this other person. You don't need to like dress well or like be at your best behavior or like front for anyone, because it's online. They don't see you, and they don't have to know that you didn't put pants on this morning because it's all texting, and then by the time that you do show your face, it's like you're already like best friends anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. And so I have all these internet friends who I love dearly, but it's not like I'm I'm very introverted, of course, but when I don't go out for like a week at a time, it like really drains on my mental health, and I really need to just like put myself in a place that it's okay to put myself out there and a way that I'm comfortable, and it has been harder since I left school. Very much so, because everyone's left town and I can only see people really when I go out and see them or they come back for the holidays or something like that. So it's kind of forced my hand a little bit, and I'm glad it happened now. Like, I feel like if I wasn't on the medication and I hadn't been in therapy for like a year, I feel like it would have been much harder. But now I can just be like, well, they're gonna come back and I can go see other friends, and it's not like this huge loneliness pressing in on me. And I really appreciated that. I really appreciate that I've gotten the help that I have. I'm really appreciative of all the people who like pretty much bent over backwards to help me out when I was in a really bad place. And whether or not it did actually help, the effort that so many people have given me and tried to support me is phenomenal. Like, there's no, belated or not, I am so relieved and glad that I had the help that I did, and so many people were willing to encourage me and like show me that I had a place where I didn't think I did. So I'm getting a little bit emotional. I mean, you can probably tell. I don't really talk about this kind of thing because who wants to admit that they were heavily suicidal for years, just like your whole life in this haze because you don't know if you're gonna make it and you don't have any future, and it's so draining to wake up and think that there's no reason, like you're just putting it off for one more day. And so I have to be more open and sensitive, of course, and I have to be more involved with other people because I think I've had enough of my own head. I've been with it for about 20 years. It's a long time. Maybe we need a break from this very close quarters relationship, me and my brain. Yeah, so I don't know if this is going to become like a weekly series or anything. Probably not. This is probably just like a whenever I'm feeling particularly like I have something to say, then I'll just say it and it'll be on my computer for months, and then maybe I'll do something with it. I don't know, but I'm glad that I made this video. I'm glad that I'm working on it. I'm glad that I have so many beautiful, amazing friends who are always just there for me through and not at the behest of my mistakes, but understanding and very much support and encouragement, because really, I would not be the person I am without all of these people just loving people, helping me and showing me that I had a place with them, and you know, just general support. Like, I will always thank these people, despite, even if we don't talk anymore, even if we had a falling out, or even if like I just completely bailed because of mental illness or some sort of weird pretentious and like thought that I was better than them or whatever. Like, there's a lot of people that I would not reconnect with just because of the role that they played in my life, and like I feel kind of like they would hold me back now, but the role that they had when I needed them is more than I could have ever asked for, and I will credit them directly for like making me the person that I am. Because even if people are bad to you, you did not become you through everything going out great. Like, I would not be so caring and compassionate and supportive if I didn't know what it was like to be on the other end of just absolutely not that at any cost. So I will thank these people. I would never, not to their face, I don't want to make that a thing. Like, I'm not gonna go around and be like, hi, you were terrible to me, here's a pamphlet, and here's my TED Talk, and if you want to come, feel free. It's a $15 fucking fee to get in, and you pay me $15 and I tell you how shitty you were to me. No. I mean, it'd be fucking hilarious. Like, if given the chance, coffee concert, should have done that shit, man. But, yeah, I've got my tea with me. Oh my god, I love this fucking mug we got it at Walmart, and it's the best fucking thing ever. There was a shit one. It had a O, and then it was a picture of the poop emoji, and I broke it, and I feel really bad about that, because, I mean, I don't, but I wanted to keep it, so it sucks that I broke it. Yeah, so this is 15 minutes of me talking about myself. Maybe more. We will see. But for now, I think I'm done. Thank you for watching if you did, and you wish you had my pajamas. And that's just that.